cut you down to size.
The old pantomime villain follows my coat, and he hides where it hangs, and he spies through the slats. And meanwhile in the desert's only costume shop, the cowls hang and wait to rot away the identities of the willing. Opening for hours. You can itch, flap and whistle and try to avoid the talk. As I scribbled over dribble, you were snoring, showing up. The tumble splits the frame, revealing silken fits in the flight-lined dining room floor. Gaze towards them while they feast. a scowl in his pocket and a smile on his face. He followed with obedience and fell in the nettles. Afton was so spiky whispers, said he brought his own rope, and skin goodness they loathed. Then scrambled to find a dot leaf and capture back at home. To advise his mind had closed, he lost all of his footholds. And with a scowl in his pocket and a smile on his face, he followed with obedience and fell in the nettles. Fell in the nettles, fell in the nettles. He was a toothpick and the garlic and the cinder upon the path. It failed to blunt or hinder the slow collapse. And clinging to the door frame, he was dragged off to a reminder of where he had been. And with a smile in his pocket and a scowl on his face, there was nowhere to flee, so second tent in the nettles. His purpose And then there's you've changed. I approach you like you were the same, but soon it was apparent a new name was required. New lips went and fired, accomplishments had me while I'm captivated by your magazine skin. The tints on your limbs as obscures to begin. And you know full well that anyone who says that they don't prefer the sequel will still be swinging on themselves tonight. Somebody let me out. Don't wanna stick around no more. I'm sick of looking at you strange. I'm sick of sticking to the floor. Not one of you has got an ounce of style in ya. So not one of you. No. Well, fuck it all and break your nose. They keep on pushing you around. They keep on stepping on your toes and pick you up when you fall down. Not one of you has got an ounce of style in ya. So not one of you. to drive the train. Then don't you let her, well don't you let her touch the tracks. I said my baby wants to drive the train. Well all aboard, yeah, and don't forget to mind the gap. Well don't you let her, well, don't you know, she's sick and tired of being in the background, a passenger. Let her drive the train. Oh, choo choo, why don't you let her drive the train? No. Choo choo, why don't you let her drive the train? Yeah. She's setting out from platform 4. We'll make your way down. They'll shut the doors by 4:45. I said she's setting out from platform 4. And they've decided that they're gonna let her drive. Well don't you let her, no don't you know, she's sick and tired of being in the background, a passenger. Let her drive the train. Oh, choo choo, why don't you let her drive the train? No. Choo choo, why don't you let her drive my train? Yeah. Whoa, telephone line. What if you were right first time?
something from a film, but I didn't have the bottle at all. Well, I was looking and you kept staring, your thoughts pairing up with mine. Oh, and you're so pretty and I'm so shy, you properly did give me the eye, though I'm sure you did. Well, I went outside, couldn't say I'd tried, and I felt regret. Got to have a bash, made a dash back in, cause the ship hadn't sailed yet. But when I did, I couldn't see your face, I could see your mates, but that wouldn't do. Oh, I dashed around, tried to find you, but you were nowhere to be seen. Oh no, no. Well, she moved in ways that kept her there in our minds for days and weeks and months. We was that amazed, and there she stayed, surrounded by the what ifs and the maybes.
a long lost rock and roll. She's definitely one of those, but you'll go wherever she goes. And my body and my mind both start talking at the exact same time, trying to think of ways to make her mine. They're difficult to find. It's not what I need. No, your love's not what I need. So don't give it to me. And she said, oh, well I know this will sound cold, but I really have to go. It's not that I'm not free, there's nowhere I need to be. It's just your love's not what I need, so don't give it to me. It's not what I need. No, your love's not what I need, so don't give it to me. She said, baby, I can never leave you. How can I believe you when you can't believe your love? No point sticking to the plan when it's gone stuck. It's more a hunger than a thirst. She'll break your heart the second time before you know about the first. Looks well equipped to leave you in the lurch, but you'd let her do her worst. And it's not hard to tell, it's obvious the other angel's faces fell when she told him that she had to go, swap her wings and overcoat for something colorful. It's not what I need. No, your love's not what I need. So don't give it to me. No, your love's not what I need. So don't give it to me. No, your love's not what I need. So don't give it to me. No, your love's not what I need. So don't give it to me. Your love's not what I need. Is pining for her in a people carrier. There might be buildings and pretty things to see like that, but architecture won't do. Although it might say a lot about the city or town, I don't care what they've got, keep on turning them down. It don't say the funny things she does. Don't even try and cheer him up, because it just won't happen. He's got the feeling again, this time on the aeroplane. There might be tellies in the back of the seat in front, but Rodney and Dell won't do. Although it might take your mind off the aches and the pains, like when he falls through the bar, but you're feeling the same, cause she isn't there to hold your hand, and she won't be waiting for you when you land. It feels like she's just nowhere near. You could well be out on your ear. This thought comes closely followed by the fear, and the force of it makes you feel a bit ill. about with and almost shouted, and then reality kicked in within us. It seems as we become the winners, you lose a bit of something, and I've wondered if you want it at all. And don't say, oh, cause you've got no idea, and she's still nowhere near. And the thought comes closely followed by the fear, and the thought of it makes you feel a bit ill. Despair in the departure lounges, wanting to still be around at 3. No signal and low battery. What's happened to me?
I don't know, be my baby.
listen to it. I don't know.
Open sesame, we've places to go, we've people to see. Let's put them on hold. There's all sorts of shapes that I bet you can make when you had to escape. Say the word. Well, I know that getting you alone isn't easy to do. With the exception of you, I dislike everyone in the room. And I don't wanna lie, but I don't wanna tell you the truth. Get the sense that you're on the move, and you'll probably be leaving soon. So I'm telling you, stop the world, 'cause I wanna get out with you. Stop the world, 'cause I wanna get out with you. Eyes the color out, water left in warm, ice and sugar dust, crazy green flashes. It's a funny thing that I cannot explain. Don't you know the train keeps a rolling? Stop the world, 'cause I wanna get out with you. Stop the world, 'cause I wanna get out with you.
got your H.P. Lovecraft, your Edgar Allan Poe. You got your own kind of ravens and your murderer crows, catty eyelashes and your Dracula cape. Been flashing AAA passes at the cemetery gates, 'cause you're so dark, babe. But I want you hard, you're so dark, baby. You're so dark, you're so dark, you're so dark, you're so dark. And you're so mysterious, got that obsession with death. I saw you driving your Prius, and even that was Monster Coach-esque. You watch Italian horror, and you listen to the scores. Let the claret spike collar. I want you down on all fours, 'cause you're so dark, babe. But I want you hard, you're so dark, baby. I know you're nothing like mine. If she's walking on sunshine, then your love will tear us apart. And I know I'm not your type, 'cause I don't shun the daylight. But baby, I'm willing to start. You're so dark. Get your H.P. Lovecraft, your Edgar Allan Poe. Got your own kind of ravens, got your murderer. Oh, you're so dark, babe. But I want you hard, you're so dark, baby. But I want you hard, you're so dark. Oh, but I want you hard, you're so dark, baby. Both sides, in softly came the growl from both sides. And if his whisper splits the mist, just think of what he's capable of with his kiss. Nice try, you cannot turn away, but nice try. Turns your legs to little building blocks, and with his index finger flicks you on your socks. Your voice sound high-pitched, dread to
cannot turn away, but nice try. Nice try. You cannot turn away, but nice try. Nice try. You cannot turn away, but nice try. Nice try. You cannot turn away, but nice try. You cannot turn away.
Show us your special move.
to make up for all the lost time. She could have been one of the bitches, but she's actually alright. I'm sorry, but we're all unsure how much of that will we think that you ought to maybe not have anymore. And I'm probably gonna die getting high, cause I'm mixing crazy mooners with the crack. And she's kissing all the boys, she's too clever to be slack. But she's bound to go away for a day, and she like it so she won't be coming back. Baby, 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 yo, good old days are time. Baby, 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 and now I want you to dry your pretty eyes. Baby, 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 yo, good old days are time, so come on. Despite big bell-bottom cars and the matching with a hat, and you're a rule breaker, baby, cause you said it's standing only and you wear a headset. Yeah, she's kissing all the boys, but she's too clever to be slack. But she plans to go away for a day, and she likes it so she won't be coming back. Oh, baby, 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 yo, good old days of time. Baby, 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 and I want you to dry your pretty eyes. Baby, 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 yo, good old days of time, so come on.
I've seen me.
In the moonlight they're more thrilling, those things that he knows, as he leads you through the grinning bubble blowers in the snow. Watching his exit was like falling off the ferry in the night. The inevitables gather to push you around. Any other voice makes such a punishing sound. He became laughter's assassin shortly after he showed you what it was. And now it's no one's fault but yours. At the foot of a house of cards, you thought you'd never get obsessed. You thought the wolves would be impressed, and you're a sinking stone. I just said, linger around and multiply in the head. Not that bad to start with. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
It's not you, it's them. That all wrong.
baby, I'm yours. Baby, I'm yours. And I'll be yours until the stars fall from the sky. Yours until the rivers all run dry. In other words, until I die. Baby, I'm yours. Baby, I'm yours. And I'll be yours until the sun no longer shines. Yours until the poets run out of rhyme. In other words, until the end of time. I'm gonna stay right here by your side and do my best to keep you satisfied. Nothing in the world could drive me away. Every day you'll hear me say, baby, I'm yours. Baby, I'm yours. And I'll be yours until 2 and 2 is 3. Yours until the mountain crumbles to the sea. In other words, until eternity. Baby, I'm yours till the stars fall from the sky. Baby, I'm yours till the rivers run dry. Baby, I'm yours until the sun will shine. Baby, I'm yours till the poets run out. There's always somebody taller with more of a wit, and he's equipped to enthrall her. And her friends think he's fit, and you just can't measure up, no. You don't have a prayer wishing that you'd made the most of her when she was there. They've got engaged, there's no intention of a wedding. He's pinched your bird, and he'd probably kick your head in. Bigger boys and stolen sweethearts, so you're better off without her anyway. You said you wasn't sad to see her go. Yeah, but I know you were though. Now you don't know what she's up to. You can only assume when she's not on front of the shops. Then they've gone to his room, bet she's gone round in her school stuff. Bet that's what he likes. I know you thought she was different, and you thought she was nice, but she's not nice. She's pretty fucking far from nice. She's looking at you funny, rarely looking at you twice. Bigger boys and stolen sweethearts, oh, you're better off without her anyway. You said you wasn't sad to see her go. Yeah, but it's so clear you were though. She has been doing, never did it for me. He picks her up at the school gate at 3:20. She's been with all of the boys but never went very far. And she whacked English and science just to go in his car. They've got engaged, there's no intention of a wedding. He's pinched me bird and he'd probably kick my head in. Oh, now the girls have grown, yeah, but I'm sure that they still carry on in similar ways. Bigger boys and stolen sweethearts, oh, I'm better off without her anyway. I said I wasn't sad to see her go. Yeah, but I'm only pretending you know. Yeah, I'm only pretending you know. I was only pretending you know. I was
She's been thinking of fucking off and not going home today. And she's been eating too much magic beans to walk home anyway. You got moving down to the dirty ground. Put up your picture in the place and where we'll get around. Yeah, where we'll get around, yeah. Yeah, where we'll get around. Everyone's feeling alright. I won't be sleeping today. I won't be sleeping tonight. I'm feeling silly. I'm feeling oh so sick. And I can see you through the smoke because the cloud's so thick. And there's a fire engine dancing to the disco sound. Put up your picture, baby, and what we'll get around. Yeah, what we'll get around, yeah. Yeah, what we'll get around. Everyone's feeling alright. I won't be sleeping today. I won't be sleeping tonight.
Turned out my lights and my curtains weren't closed. I turned out my lights and my curtains weren't closed. Oh well, I turned out my lights and my curtains weren't closed last night. Oh baby, I must be mad. skin going red. Cause I'm a mad motherfucker with my curtains open, sitting tucked up in bed. I turned down my lights and my curtains weren't closed. I turned down my lights and my curtains weren't closed. And when I turned down my lights, my curtains weren't closed last night. Oh baby, I must be mad. I turned down my lights and my curtains weren't closed. And when I turned down my lights and my curtains weren't closed. Oh yeah, when I turned down my lights, my curtains weren't closed last night. Oh baby, I must be mad. Just what you'll do to keep us entertained. We're waking up those sleepers. You know we're so mischievous. Just what you'll do to keep us entertained. She's got you up and she's running away. You're nothing first if you think that you're coming to play. And I don't mind, cause all the time you're talking at me. No, I don't mind at all. And polystyrene do you a swap. Well, I'll give you anything, yeah, in return for them noises you've got. And I can see you want to be attended to. Just count to 29 and I'll attend to you, oh for sure. Well, certainly, yeah, yeah, yeah. Waving bye to the train or the bus, I'm ever so worried because I don't want to get all forgotten. So very comfortable, don't really need to put up my feet. And even if that sounds grand slam, can't see it being easier to speak. When you've karate kicked your way to someone new, and I'm a memory that doesn't know what to do all on his own, collecting his stolen stuff and waving bye to the train or the bus. I'm ever so worried because I don't want to get all forgotten. 'Cause we know, yeah we know, oh we know. To be together again, 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 be together again. Everybody will be together again. suppose that's the price you pay. Well, oh, it isn't what it was. She's thinking he looks different today. And now there's nothing left to guess now. I suppose that's the price you pay. Well, oh, it isn't what it was. She's thinking he looks different today. And now there's nothing left to guess now. Well, quick, let's leave before the lights come on. 'Cause then you don't have to see. 'Cause then you don't have to see what you've done. Well, quick, let's leave before the lights come on. 'Cause then you don't have to see. 'Cause then you don't have to see what you've done. You don't have no money, he'll get you some. If you haven't got no car, he'll get you one. You've got no self-respect, you feel like an insect. Well, don't you worry, buddy, 'cause here he comes through the ghetto and the barrow and the Bowery and the slums. A shadow is cast wherever he stands, stacks of green paper in his red right hand.